When I tell you this is going to cover life, like it'll cover everything. It'll cover all your problems. It's giving rich auntie. I'm picking these up all the time. Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. We are cozying it up today in my living room and doing a Sephora favorites roundup. I like to do these about once a year where I share all of my Sephora favorites, and I like to do this right before they do their holiday VIB sale. Sometimes I'll do it before the other one that they have, but most of the time I like to hit y'all with some favorites right before the holidays. If you have no idea what I'm even talking about, Sephora has a sale every year around this time of the year, right before the holidays, where they give everybody that is signed up to their VIB program, they give them up to 20% off. So if you are a beauty insider, you get, I want to say it's 10%. Let me read it because I don't want to get this wrong. Beauty Insider members get up to 10% off from November 11th to November 15th. If you are not signed up with their program and you want an easy 10% off, all you have to do is sign up with your email, your name, your birthday. You get a free birthday gift, no strings attached, literally just a free birthday gift. And then for VIB members from November 9th to November 15th of this year, you can get up to 15% off. And then if you're a VIB Rouge member, which I'm a VIB Rouge because I spend way too much money at Sephora, you get up to 20% off from November 5th to November 15th. So you have a longer time period, and of course you have a little bit of a higher percentage when it comes to the discount. So with all of that being said, that's why I like to do my Sephora roundup around this time of the year and give you all of my personal favorites, just in case any of you guys are like, I'm gonna hit up the sale, what do you recommend? So I have an array of makeup. I have some skincare from Belief, which they are sponsoring today's video. I'll talk about their products in a little bit. And I have some hair care, and then I have some perfumes too. So since we have a lot to cover, let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, we usually kick off with our sponsor, and today's video is sponsored by Belief, like I mentioned, and I've talked about their minis. I think I did a video with them last year talking about their holiday sets and their minis, so I'm back again sharing this year's, and I have two of them right here. This time of the year is a great time to stock up on products like this that you maybe have been wanting to try and you haven't tried, or if they're favorites and you just want some smaller versions, or you just want to get the cute holiday limited edition ones, here they are. So Belief came out with this Glow with Hydration holiday kit, and it looks just like this. Let's give you a nice little close up here. It comes in this red clear pouch, and in here you pretty much get everything that you need for a skincare routine. For step one, we have the Belief Aqua Bomb Jelly Cleanser. Step two would be the Aqua Bomb Hydrating Toner, and then we have the tiny cute moisturizing eye balm. And then if you want to add a little extra self-care step here, you have the Aqua Bomb Sleeping Mask, and then you have the Aqua Bomb moisturizer, which is really good, especially for oily skin. And then let's get into this second set. In here there's 4 products. Let me show you the front here. So it comes in, I feel like the camera, there you go. I'm like, I can't tell if it's focusing from this far, but this one has a full size. Okay, this one is $38. Keep that in mind. And you get a full size product and 3 minis, which is a steal because just the full size product alone is around that price range. So you get all of this for a really good deal. This one is a moisturizing balm. So if you have drier skin, or if your skin gets a little bit more dry around this time of the year, this one is super bomb. This one is really good, especially for dry skin. It's like thick, super nourishing and hydrating. And then you also get the cleansing balm, which I've talked about in another video too. It basically melts your makeup off completely. And you get the sleeping mask, which is also the one that comes in the other set, and you get the moisturizing eye balm, which also comes in that set as well. Here's a close-up of the moisturizing balm, and let's open it up too. I have shown this one before, but I want to show you at least the texture of it because it is thick, rich, and creamy. $38 bucks, the same price as just the moisturizer alone. It's a $55 value. I'm just saying. More skincare here. I have this cleanser from Youth to the People. My foot is falling asleep. Hold on 1 second. This cleanser right here, I picked up randomly when my skin was just kind of going through it. My skin was going through it and I was like, I hear good things about this. Let's give it a try. So this is a kale and green tea spinach vitamin superfood cleanser. You can see right here, it's a mini size. I decided to get the mini because, again, I like to get sizes like this when it's my first time trying a product and I want to see if it's going to work well with me. And so I got the mini size of this one. You can see I'm almost completely out, and so far I do really love it, and this is going to be a repurchase for me when the sale comes around. It feels very gentle, but it leaves my skin feeling super soft. I like to use this one more so in the morning. I find it to be a little bit more like refreshing. I don't know what it is about it. I think maybe the smell, because it's a green tea. But it smells very fresh. Definitely a really nice morning cleanser. And then at night, I'll use my other one. So this one I highly recommend if you have more acne prone skin and you want to try something that's going to cleanse but still be kind of like gentle-ish at the same time. I also have a mask from Caudalie. This is their Vinergetic. I'm gonna say it's Vinergetic C+ mask. It's an instant detox mask that tightens pores, removes excess oil, and it's a purifying clay with coffee and grape. And this is what this one looks like right here. When you squeeze it out of the bottle, it kind of looks like a peachy color. It's definitely different than any other mask that I've had. And then you just put it on, leave it on for about 5-10 minutes, rinse it off, and it just helps to clarify and clean out any clogged pores. I like to use this, I would say, about once a week, and I do really like it. This is newer to my collection, but so far my skin loves it, and I highly recommend. I don't really do too many masks, but that one right there is pretty good. These two are kind of more in the skincare category too, but I mostly use them when it comes to my makeup. And that is my Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. I have not used this one in a hot minute. This used to be a holy grail for me when I worked at Sephora like 4-ish years ago. It was my go-to and it was a client favorite. It literally like mattifies and blurs your pores. And because it's from a skincare line, Dr. Brandt, I just feel like it just works that much better. I don't know what it is, but ever since I tried this when I did work there, I was just like, I know I'm always going to gravitate towards this because it literally blurs and fills your pores so that your makeup looks nice and smooth. So this right here, another pretty penny, but if you want a really good primer, I would highly recommend this one. And then to kind of like set, refresh, give my skin a little bit of hydration after applying like powders and stuff, I'll use the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This is a smoothing and glowing complexion elixir / spray. And this one, I'm reading the back right here. Yeah, it says it smooths, tightens, appearance of pores, and it gives you a little bit of radiance. So I like to just spray this all over my face after I finish my makeup. And it kind of feels like a breath of fresh air. It leaves you feeling really refreshed, and it kind of removes any of that powdery residue that you don't want just sitting on top of your skin when you finish your makeup. So highly recommend this spray right here. It's another one that I just always have in my collection. Now that we're done with skincare, let's get into makeup. Let me get my little station ready. I literally have a basket sitting right here full of my products. So I have 3 foundations. It was kind of hard for me to narrow it down because I am a foundation girl. And I love me a good full coverage foundation. And I have 3 different kinds that are different types of coverage. So first and foremost is my Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation in the shade Light Medium 14. I don't know how this has lasted me this long because this is a light to medium coverage foundation that you can build up. Most of the time I do build it up and I'm just like, how do I still have a lot of this left over. It's kind of like a mix of a little bit goes a long way, but at the same time, you can really build it up. I don't even know if that makes sense, but the formula of this is magic. It's very lightweight and liquidy, but you can just blend this into the skin so beautifully, and it looks like skin, and you can build it up and it does not look like too much. And I have to say, this is probably the most perfectly matching foundation that I have. Whenever I'm looking for a like new foundation shade in any type of foundation, and I go to Sephora, I'll put in like their little iPad on there and use their foundation color IQ thing. And it asks you on there, like, if you have a foundation at home that matches you, and then from there, it'll give you a list of all of the shades that you are in their foundations, or you can look for a specific one, whatever. Anyway, so I always put this one in there. I put light medium 14 because I know that this shade right here is perfect for me. And then from there, they'll match me to any other foundation in store. So love this right here. It's just a go-to, especially around... I'm not gonna lie, I do wear this in the summertime too because it's really good, but mostly like the winter time when my skin just needs a little extra. That right there just always does it because it's not a matte finish. It's not super drying. It just looks so good on the skin. Another one that is like that is like a tried and true, I know it's not gonna do me wrong, is the Hourglass Foundation Stick. Since I tried this when it launched, I think it's been a few years. I want to say the launch event of this. And ever since they sent me that original PR box, I have been using it ever since. It's been a ride or die for me. And I use the shade Warm Beige. That has been my shade forever. Sometimes I'll get beige and try to mix it in, but for some reason, this is just the perfect shade. It's a nice neutral shade that works with my skin pretty much year round for some reason. Amazing coverage. I can use it for the no makeup days, or I can use it for like a fuller glam look, and it just always works. I recently got this one in a like bronzing shade too to use for cream bronzer, and it does it all. I've even seen people use a shade in that foundation to clean up their eyebrows, and it works really well for that too. It's kind of like a foundation and concealer in one, I would say. And then from there, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is a full coverage, long wear, I'm not going anywhere type of foundation. No joke. I use the shade 7 Warm. The shade, I would say, I'm wearing that foundation on my skin today, by the way. I'm like touching my hair. But I'm wearing it on my skin today. This is how the shade looks and how the coverage looks. And I would say the shade matches me pretty well. I can probably go between the 7 Warm and 7, I think Neutral is what they have. But all in all, this foundation is one that is going to stay on your face all day long, and it's going to cover almost everything. It is so full coverage, and this one you can use with a beauty blender, with a sponge. With a beauty blender, with a brush, and either way, it's going to give you just amazing coverage. So if you like something that's on the fuller side and you're just like full coverage or nothing, which is usually what I go for, this is the one right here. All right, and then concealers, I also have 3 of them here. And I'm going to try not to talk too much about the products individually because I still have quite a few right here. But right here I have, first and foremost, for a lighter coverage, really pretty skin day, I like to use the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealers. And I have shades 3N and 2.5W. I just bought 2.5W the other day and I'm wearing it on my under eyes right now. You can see the 2.5W is a little bit more of a yellow tone and the 3 is more of a peachy tone. So I like to use the 3 when I want more coverage, I would say, not so much brightness, because the peachy tone, I feel like it just covers everything that it needs to cover, even though it is more of a medium coverage concealer. I really like this. Even for glam days too, I feel like you can build it up. This, honestly, I think is like a concealer version of the Pat McGrath. It's very, very versatile. And then from there, we have the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one is also nice for those fuller glam days, I would say. But I have also used this concealer as a lightweight foundation, and that looks really beautiful on the skin too. All in all, I think this is just a really good versatile concealer because it starts off with medium coverage, but you can build it up to be fuller. You can use it to conceal, to highlight, to bronze. You can use it as a foundation. It's kind of like one of those all-in-one products that you can just use for so many different things. And if you have like a makeup kit or if you do makeup, I think this is a really good product right here to have in different shades. And then for the full coverage girls out there, girls and guys out there who love a full beat, Anastasia, this is the Magic Concealer. What is this called? Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer. I use the shade 8. Honey, when I tell you this is going to cover life, like it'll cover everything. It'll cover all your problems. This concealer is everything. When I first tried it, I was just like, whoa, this covers a lot. Shade 8 for me right now, it seems like it's a little bit more of a brightening shade. I can probably go up to shade 9 if they have a 9 or an 8.5. I don't know if they have like the 0.5 shades, but the next shade up for a little bit more coverage. But all in all, this is thick, okay? She's giving thick. She's giving I'm not going anywhere either. Like, this is good. Bronzer. I'm a bronzer girl. No, actually, we'll do some powders. I have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury because over the past like year or so, I really have stocked up on her products and I've been really liking them. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in medium. I have shade medium and tan, but right now, because your girl needs a little tan, I'm using shade 2 just to lightly buff over my skin. And the color of this looks very fair for my complexion, but I promise you somehow it works. And if I ever have a foundation that's a little bit too light for some reason, I'll go in with this same powder right here in shade 3 and it evens out my foundation shade instantly. This gives you slight coverage. It just gives you a very powdery, beautiful, flawless finish to the skin. If you have oily skin and you need a powder to touch up throughout the day that's not going to make you look cakey, they sell mini versions of this too. Usually they have them up by the register and you can just pop it in your purse, pop it in your car, and you always have a powder on the go. Highly recommend, and very smart of them to make a mini version of that powder because it's so good. And then just a tried and true is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I feel like I don't even really have to say much about it. Everybody loves this powder for the most part. It doesn't get cakey, doesn't give flashback, just gives you a really nice finish underneath the eyes if you like to bake or if you just like to set your face overall. This is a go-to, and they now have other shades as well. Now we can get into some bronzers. For liquid bronzer, I have this one from, you guessed it, Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Hollywood Flawless Filter. And this one right here, I originally wanted to get this in my foundation shade to use all over because it gives you a really nice glow. Only thing is it's more of a light coverage, I would say. It's definitely a light coverage. So I was like, no, maybe I'll just get it in this bronzy shade and use it to cream bronze. And I have really been liking it for that because some days I don't really want to apply a full-on highlight to my cheek, but this will give my skin a really nice, subtle, natural glow without having to do too much. So I got the mini version. I promise you I didn't mean to make this like a minis video, but that's just how I shop sometimes. So I got the mini version to try it out for the first time, and it comes with this doe foot applicator. Looks just like a concealer. And then all I do is literally just apply it to wherever I want a little bronziness, blends it in, and it just looks so nice on the skin. You can even apply this before your foundation to give yourself like a pre-bronze before you put products on top. Either way, before or after foundation, it works really well, and I've really been liking this. Once I run out, I will probably purchase the bigger version in this one right here. And then for powder bronzers, I have two here. I have the Fenty Beauty Islanding in the Sunstalker bronzer, and it looks just like this. I also have Badging Gal, I think is how it's pronounced. And that one's good too. It's a little bit more orangey. This one is more, I mean, it's pretty orangey too, but this one's a little bit more neutral than the other one. And this one is just such a nice bronzing shade that doesn't do too much. The formula of all the Fenty Beauty like powders is really good. Actually, I have the matte powder right here too that I forgot to mention. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. Sometimes I will use this in place of the Charlotte Tilbury one. And I have the shade 255. And basically, I just like to lightly set my face with this one whenever I'm a little bit oily. I should have gotten a brush to show you right now since my skin is starting to oil up a little bit. But yeah, I use 255, works really well. It's more of a lightweight powder. I don't find that this gives me like a whole lot of coverage, if I'm being honest. Just a nice matte finish without adding any cakiness or too much thickness to your foundation. So yeah, I was saying that to say that the bronzer from Fenty is also really good. And then we also have the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is the Airbrush bronzer in shade 3 Tan. This is a huge bronzer. It looks just like this, very pretty. And then this is a refillable one. So you can just back here pop this off and refill it once you do run out. But this one I loved, especially in the summertime, because it is a very rich bronze color that I was able to pull off a little bit more around that time when I had more of a tan. Now I could still use this, but I just apply it lightly because a little bit goes a long way with this one. But it's also a really beautiful finish, kind of similar to the powder. Blushes I have been into, you can probably tell because I'm wearing a whole lot of blush right now. And the blush that I'm wearing as of right now is this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the blush trio in Berry Adore. I have Peachy Love as well, which I bring out every single year for the summertime, but I just kind of hung that one up for now, and I just purchased this one and I love it for the fall time. So it looks just like this, and I'm mainly wearing this this one right here, this orangey tone on my cheeks as of today. But what I will do for the most part sometimes is just kind of dip into all three and then put it on my cheeks. But this is such a pretty, like it says, berry toned blush trio, and you get 3 different colors, which is perfect because I don't go through blushes often, or makeup. I don't really go through makeup products a lot in general, like completely finished. So having a trio like this gives you a lot of options for a really good price for the most part. So love their blush trios. And then I also have this one from Pat McGrath that I've been into. It's the Skin Fetish blush in Desert Orchid. Looks just like this. This one's pretty. Only thing with this one is if I'm wearing something like my Pat McGrath foundation, I have to be a little bit more careful because it does have more of a sheen, subtle shimmer to it. I can't even lie to you guys. When you put it on, it looks really nice on the skin. Come on, focus. There you go. It looks really nice on the skin, but it does add a little bit of a glow. So just keep that in mind. It looks nice on the skin, but I'm just fair warning if you do have oily skin and you don't like to apply too much glowiness to the cheeks. This one might not be the one for you. You might want to do something a little bit more on the matte side. But regardless, it still looks really nice. And I like the color because of the fact that it's more of this brown neutral tone blush, which for my complexion I find is very difficult to find. Usually blushes are a lot more pink and peachy, and I love a blush like this that looks a little bit more closer to my skin tone or like my lip color that I'm wearing right now. It just very nice, and it goes with every type of look. You don't have to worry about like having to wear a peachy eyeshadow or a peachy lip because this goes with any eyeshadow and any lip color I find that I wear. We're coming close to the end here, so let's talk some lip colors and we'll get into, actually no, I'll mention a mascara, we'll do lips, some hair, and fragrance. So mascara, it's what I'm wearing right now too. I don't have my lash extension. I don't have my lash extensions right now, but I am gonna get them next week, I think it is, because I'm doing a lash campaign. And so I've been using mascara the past few months, and this is the one that I've kind of been going to. It's the Rare Beauty mascara in black. And this one here gives you volume, it gives you intense darkness, it gives you a little bit of length too, but what I find with this wand, it just gives. It's kind of similar, like the wand's kind of similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Kind of that vibe, I would say. But the formula of this one, I don't know what it is. And I think the bristles on this one are a little bit closer together. Sometimes the Too Faced Better Than Sex does a little bit more separating, whereas this one I find just makes it fuller and longer, which I love. Just a basic mascara that does the job, and that's worth the price point. She definitely did it with this mascara right here, and I hear a lot of the other products are really good too. And then let's talk lip colors. So the lip color I'm wearing right now with MAC Strip Down is the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in Unbutton. I just put a few dots in the middle, rub my lips together, and that's my color for the day. In general, stocking up on the Fenty, they also have minis in this, I want to say, but stocking up on the lip colors I think is a really good idea with the sale because they're matte, they last all day long, and all of the colors are very pigmented. And I just feel like she killed it with the tones as far as like essential colors to have in your makeup collection. And then also, do not sleep on the Sephora matte lip colors. These are, I want to say they're like 14, 18 bucks, something like that. They're definitely on the more affordable side when it comes to Sephora products. And if you didn't know, the Sephora Collection line has a lot of good dupes for the higher end, like higher price point items in Sephora. So I always like to get some of the matte lip colors around this time of the year. So I have 66 and 75, and these two colors are, well, I would say 66 looks kind of similar to the Fenty, except it's a little bit darker. Fenty actually looks a little bit more peachy. I don't know. They look kind of similar. And then 75 is a little bit darker, but in general, these are really good to check out. They have some really nice bright reds for the holidays. And then speaking of Sephora Collection, I have this lip gloss in O2 Outrageous. And this is a plumping lip gloss, but I mainly got it because of the color. Let me give you a close-up here. It's like this nice nude pinky color. You can tell this is kind of my go-to color when it comes to lip products because these all look the same. But this is like a lip gloss version, and I just find that it makes my lips feel really luscious and very buttery. So if you're looking for a nice nude glossy minty lip gloss, try this one out. And let's get into the last few items. So let's talk hair care, and then we'll talk fragrance. So shampoo and conditioner, I kind of briefly mentioned these in my hair care favorites, I want to say. I don't know if I showed them or if I just mentioned them, but if I didn't show them, these are the ones that I was talking about. This is the Moroccan Oil Moisture Repair Shampoo and the Hydrating Conditioner. These are the ones that I kind of have on rotation with a lot of the other hair care products that I use. When it comes to shampoo and conditioner, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I never really stick to one for a long time because I like to rotate. I like to try new scents, and then I'll go back to some favorites, and then I'll switch it out. So I'm always trying out different shampoos and conditioners. And these two right here are the recent ones that I've kind of had in my shower in rotation with some of my other ones. So I like these because of the scent more specifically, but along with that, they do make my hair feel really soft. And the shampoo, I feel like it actually cleanses. Sometimes I have a hard time with like buildup, specifically like right here on my head. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like hairspray or just buildup of product. But I find that these two right here work really well with my hair. These are also color safe, which is key because I dye my hair probably once every 6 to 8 weeks just to touch up my color. And it kind of helps to prevent the fading in my hair too. So these are good. Just smell them. Just smell them in store and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This gives you that salon scent. When you just went to the salon, you got a blowout or you got a haircut and they like really wash your hair. That's what that smells like. And then I also talked about this in that video too. This is the Way Hair Care hair oil. This is just a very lightweight, perfect oil for your hair if you want a shiny finish, if you just want to kind of tame a little bit. The bottle lasts a pretty long time, even though it does seem small, but overall, this does not weigh my hair down. I don't even know what is in this oil that makes it just work really well. To me, it seems like just one of those products that's a simple product that does the trick, and it's not like it just doesn't do too much. It does what it needs to do. So if I don't have one of these, I always like to snatch one up for the sale because I always have to have that in my bathroom. And then another one is the IGK Beach Club, which I talked about in that video too. This is a texturizing spray, and it's honestly, I would say out of all the texturizing sprays that I've tried, it's one of my favorites because I find that it actually texturizes without adding too much like almost like stickiness or clumpiness to the hair. It just adds that grit that you need in order to curl or in order to maintain the style of your hair. Like for me, for example, I just got a haircut yesterday and they did like wash, blowout. And you know, when you get a haircut, your hair feels very silky and it feels very healthy, which is good. But I find for me that it's harder to style my hair when it's at its healthiest because it just doesn't stay in place. So when I want it to just stay in place and I want to add some grit and some like roughness to it, this is what I add. That's exactly what I added to my hair, and it just does what it needs to do, just like I said with the oil. But it really, really does, and it makes my hair styles last me that much longer because of the amount of texture that it adds without adding white residue to it. And then for hairspray, one that I recently added to my collection that I highly recommend picking up is the Color Wow cult favorite firm and flexible hairspray. I'd never tried Color Wow's products, and I think I was on my Instagram story and I asked you guys like, what hair products do you guys recommend? I think I asked you guys, I can't remember. But some of you guys were like, Color Wow, like try out Color Wow stuff. Their stuff is good. So I was like, I figure you can't go wrong with the cult favorite hairspray. And this is so good. I tend to love hairsprays that have hold but are still flexible, just like this one is. So I like to still be able to style my hair the next day and the next day and the next day without having white residue in my hair, without my hair being crunchy. I want the hold, but I don't want it to like make my hair super firm and stiff. Like I still want body and I still want my hair to move, but I also want my flyaways to stay in place. So what I'll do is spray, like for example, spray right here where my hairs tend to get in my face and just kind of help keep those in place. And then now I can use this for my little curtain bangs to keep them back here because I'm noticing that they have a tendency of like getting in my mouth basically. So now I can just kind of like spray them, keep them where they need to be, and not worry about my hair getting too stiff and not being able to like curl it the next day without it like crunching and falling off. And then last but not least, I'll give y'all a few little like perfume recommendations that I would recommend to pick up for the sale. But after this video, I think after this video, or maybe after that, but before the sale or during the sale, I want to post my perfume favorites or my fall perfume favorites. So you'll have more recommendations there. 3, I'm like, do I want to do 3 or do I want to do 4? I'll do 3. I'll do 3 that I'm just like, I'm picking these up all the time. So I got the small version of the Replica by the Fireplace, and this, how many ounces is this one? I think this is like 1 ounce. Yeah, 1 fluid ounce. It's this size right here. It's like this tiny one. This is cute even for like holiday gifting, even though it is a little bit more on the pricey side. But this is pretty much just like it says, a warm fireplace smell. When I put this on, I literally feel like I'm like trying to picture it. I feel like I'm sitting in a cabin somewhere and the fireplace is going and it's right around the holidays and it's snowing outside and we're like cooking Christmas food and just like I've never even been in that situation because most of the time we celebrate Christmas at like family's house and not in a cabin. But that's what I smell when I put this on. And at first when I smelled it in store and when I sprayed it on that little stick to smell it, I was like, this isn't really my vibe. And then I kept seeing people post about it and I was like, all right, let me pick up the small one, try it out on myself for a few hours and see how I like it. And I love it. And when I run out, I'm sure I'm going to pick this one up. And I can already tell that this is going to be one that I pick up every year as long as they have it, because the smell is nothing like any other fragrance that I have. And by the way, these are gender neutral scents too. So a great gift, in my opinion, if you want to give somebody something a little bit more like luxurious or more expensive. That's any of the scents that they have are really good. A go-to is also the Lancome Teint Idole fragrance or perfume. I love the foundation. Have never thought to try the perfume. And when I finally did, I was like, where has this been? This is a really nice everyday scent. I would say it's also a nice year-round scent. I wouldn't say it's too like springy or summery. It does have a little bit more of a fun, flirty, feminine scent to it, but it's not like tropical or just for the summertime. I would say this one is nice even for like a date night or just, I don't even know, okay? But this is good. I would recommend, just personal preference, to get this smaller one because this one, when you sit it down, it doesn't tip over. If you get the bigger size, it tends to like fall over when you have it sitting up. So just keep that in mind. And the last one is newer to me, this line in general. It's the K Ollie Elixir 2. Looks just like this. Black luxe with gold writing, and it just looks very luxurious first and foremost. And the smell of this one, it smells, I would say, more light, and what does this smell like? It smells rich. It's giving rich auntie. Just, I have my life together. I want to just smell clean and just, I should have wrote the notes of all of these because I feel like I gave a good description, okay? I gave a good description for the fireplace one. This one right here too. But this one, the smell of this one, I can't quite pin it down when I just smell it. But it kind of smells a little grown, but soft and light at the same time. But like rich auntie. I don't know. If that helped, there you go. But aside from that, that is everything that I personally recommend from Sephora. I know it was a lot. I am going to break down the links in the description box in the exact same way that I mentioned everything. That way it's easy for you guys to shop and save stuff if you do want to shop any of the items. But hopefully this video was helpful if you're like, I need some recommendations for the sale. What have you been using as of lately? This is literally most of the stuff I've been using for the past few months that is from Sephora. And then of course, make sure to check out the beautiful holiday sets from Believe. Make sure to check that out as well as the other small kit down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love you guys. Make sure to shop the sale, sign up for Beauty Insider, all of that. But I love you guys, and I'll see you all in my next video.